Welcome to the From Egypt to Zion show to all of my newcomers, and welcome back to all of my loyal subscribers. I am coming to you today to talk to you about a topic that a lot of people don't really think about, and it is further oppressing Yahuah's elect, who are black people, who are the Israelites. Now, why am I talking about this? Because this nation continues to prove that it is one of the most wickedest nations on this plane of existence that we call Earth. Now, you may say, well, how does this system continues to oppress Yahuah's elect? Well, I'm going to give you some examples. Now, let's say that a person was born of humble beginnings. They were born in poverty. Let's say that they got educated and that they um, finished high school, got a scholarship to go to college, and they um, got through a program. Let's say they got through medical school, or maybe law school, or maybe engineering, or maybe even nursing, or some sort of career that could pull them out of poverty where they can help themselves and their family to move forward in life, to have a better life. Now, they've already proved that they have what it takes to be in the career that they studied. Let's say that they may have even graduated with honors, and they have proven that they are smart enough to work in that field. Well, now the system of white supremacy, what it does is it puts system in place. Now you have to go through a review, pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to take a review exam, and then on top of that, pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to take some sort of a licensure or state board of some sort in order to get your license to be able to practice to work in that field. Now, many of these systems are directly put in place to gatekeep, to make sure that a black person has a difficult time getting in the field. Case in point, they may have paid to sit for that state exam, and then they're given a failing score. And oftentimes these scores they claim is just run by a computerized system. Now, make no mistake, these systems are put in place by the very elite, the very powerful, the very rich, and those that control the money systems. And they're put in place to gatekeep and to make it very difficult for black people to make it through programs, to make it into getting their licenses. Case in point, somebody may have to take the MCAT or some sort of a board, and generally now in a lot of the review, they give you rationales behind why a question was answered wrong. However, with the state licensure exams and stuff like that for these big old state boards, for these big um, licensures for these different fields that you're going into, oftentimes you just get a pass or fail. It won't give you no rationale behind anything. It's just a predictor of or a percentage, but they don't give you what you got wrong. And who's to say that these failing scores that these people are getting are actually accurate? Don't think for a second that these people who designed these tests do not know what your ethnicity is or what your status in life is, because they put parameters in place where you have to be ID'd, you have to be fingerprinted. They know everything about your background. And oftentimes it is to make exams extremely difficult, if not to block the black person from being able to further themselves and to get into the field that they already went to school for and wasted a lot of money trying to get into it, because they didn't have the means to begin with, but they did it so that they could get a better life for themselves and their families. But these systems are put in place to further oppress. Now, let's say that the person actually got into the field, they actually passed their exam. Now, the next thing that it does is it constantly wants you to pay to keep up a license. You have to constantly take CEUs or whatever it is that you have to do to maintain these credentials, you see. Now, back in the day, way back before the civil rights movement, when you went to school and you passed the state board, that's all you had to do. You didn't have to pay for, measures to keep up licenses and all of this stuff. This country is one of the most wickedest because all it does is wants to make profit off of people that are already struggling. And then on top of that, it further oppresses black people because Yah's people are black people. And they know that. And they want to keep people, black people especially, in a docile state. They want to keep them in a state where they are heavily oppressed. And now more than ever, we have a president that is in office to do just that. This is why he took away DEI, and this is why he has made a clarion call to businesses and says that they don't have to hire minority people, mostly black people. However, now we're coming into an even more eviler time because not only is it affecting Yah's people, it's also affecting others who are non-rich people, who are maybe not as wealthy as those that are in power. So now it's becoming the haves and the have-nots. So this system was designed now to remove the middle class and to make it a even more oppressive system. So not only does it oppress black people, but now it's put in place to oppress poor people as well. And so what I'm saying is for you not to give up, but to continue to pray and to ask Yahuah to guide you through these very systems that are put in place by the evil one and his minions. Because you see, Satan uses racism as one of his greatest tools. He also uses divisions. And now in these days, he's using rebelliousness. Rebelliousness is at an all-time high now. And this is why you want to get your houses in order. This is why you want to continue to read your Bible, get in his word, keep his commandments, his laws, his precepts. This is why now more than ever you want to get your houses in order and grow you a garden, because now things are getting even more expensive, such as food. And it's going to get to the point where people are going to be out of jobs and not going to have the means if they don't take a mark. This beast system is being put in place even as we speak. And if you don't have the word of Yahuah in you, if you don't have things put in place, if you're not heeding the signs, you are going to be lost. This is why I have been constantly telling people to grow their own gardens, to stock up on food and water and resources that will be needed, because when this system collapses, when this dollar system collapses, and it's collapsing even as we speak, then for those that did not prepare themselves, they are going to have the hardest time adapting and may end up taking the mark. So in order to prevent yourselves from being in that position, you need to start stocking up, growing, your own food. You need to start getting into the word continuously. You need to continue to pray and ask God to ask Yahuah to avenge us of our adversary. Because especially Yahuah's elect, we need to be collectively praying this prayer because we are truly in the last days. I didn't mean to stay before you long, but I wanted to let you know that this is what we're dealing with. This is what we're dealing with right now. And I believe in my heart of hearts that it won't be long before the great tribulation is upon us. So family, continue to pray. If you're in the situation that I talked about, where you've went to school and you've tried hard to get out of poverty and you've been having a difficult time, with these licensure exams, continue to move forward. Continue to ask Yahuah to guide you and to give you favor, and continue to press on. Don't give up, but just know that he sees what's going on and he is going to take care of his people. He continues to do so, but you have to stay in his will. You have to keep his commandments, laws, and precepts. And if this has been a blessing to you, share this video, like this video, because this word needs to move forward, family, especially in these dark days, because we are in trying times. We're in times where, if you've noticed, that there's a lot of lynchings and killings and ritual sacrifices of Yahuah's elect people. It's an uptick in that. And we have to learn to band together and work together with like-minded individuals so we can make it into his kingdom. We have to do that more than ever, family. Thank you for tuning in. Like the video. And I would like for you to give me your thoughts, share your thoughts about what you think about this content that I have been rolling out, because Yah has been dealing with me about these issues and concerns, and it needs to be said so that others can hear these messages and be encouraged. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, peace. Shalom.